Okay, very productive night last night. I wrote an essay because I was stimulated by conversations I had at synagogue, Your Brain on Love. So I noticed many people take illegal drugs or hallucinogens to alter their mind, and I don't want to mess with my mind in any dangerous way, so I don't drink or drug, but I do like to alter my mind. And so I made a list of about 30 things that I do to alter my mind. But number one, pretty much every morning I take modafinil. Right? It's like the boss's best friend. I've talked about it many, many times on the show, so I won't repeat myself. Coffee. I rarely drink coffee, but when I do, it's a powerful stimulant. It really helps your confidence, your concentration, your energy level, particularly when taken in conjunction with L-theanine, which seems to lengthen the coffee high. So if I take an occasional coffee before 8 a.m., it then has no negative effect on my sleep. My brain on love, right? Erotic attraction or love, for a woman can make you crazy, but just loving the people that you see every day, right, just makes you happy. So my brain on love operates from a desire to connect with lovable people and to avoid people who are unlovable. So these posts that I wrote overnight, right, were inspired by conversations with people that I love, with men that I love. My brain on gratitude is usually aligned with my best interests. I see reality more clearly. It's harder for me to get too full of myself and inappropriate and over boundary when I'm filled with gratitude. My brain on Alexander technique. So I finished my Alexander technique teacher training in December of 2011. Since then, I've largely felt like I'm floating through life. When I walk, I feel like I'm gliding. I almost never have any muscular pain. I almost never have any back pain. Every part of my body works as it should. My brain on strain counter-strain therapy, aka positional release. By practicing these procedures every day, I let go of tight muscles and occasional muscle spasms and strain. My brain in a place of awareness. So right now, I'm going to move out. So just there, did you notice any difference in my facial structure when I moved out of judgment into a space of awareness? So right now, I'm just letting go of everything that I think I know, and the quality of my voice changes, quality of my breathing changes, and as my state changes, my muscular alignment changes, what's going on in my face changes, tension patterns in my body change. Everything frees up when I move into a place of awareness rather than judgment. Now, there's absolutely a time and a place for judgment. I'm not saying, obviously, that I never judge or that we should never judge. But generally speaking, we're better off being in a place of awareness rather than a place of judgment. So a great book on this is by Annie Murphy-Paul, 2021 book called The Extended Mind, The Power of Thinking Outside the Brain. I love this book. It says people who are more aware of their bodily sensations are better able to make use of their non-conscious knowledge. Mindfulness meditation is one way of enhancing such awareness. So I try to meditate. It varies. Sometimes I meditate every day, but if I can just do it for 5 minutes, I'm better off. Meditation and mindfulness is being found to increase sensitivity to internal signals. When you're more sensitive to what's going inside of you, you'll be more sensitive to interacting with what's outside of you and can alter the size and activity of key brain structure. My brain on exercise. So I do push-ups, pull-ups, and weights every other day. I walk no less than 5 miles a day, 6 days a week. I feel great in my body. When I feel great in my body, my brain, which is in my body, also tends to work great. I think different thoughts. I notice when I am moving compared to when I am sitting, when I am walking or running or swimming. So moderate exercise, practice for a moderate length of time, improves our ability to think both during and after the activity. This is from Annie Murphy-Paul. You have an increase in the capacity to focus attention, to resist a distraction. You have greater verbal fluency, more cognitive flexibility. You have enhanced problem-solving and decision-making abilities. You have increased working memory, more durable long-term memory for what you're learning. There is increased blood flow to the brain, a release of neurochemicals, which increase the efficiency of information transmission in the brain and promote the growth of neurons and brain cells. The beneficial mental effects of moderately intense exercise can last for as long as 2 hours after the exercise ends. And then there's my brain on gesture. When I am free in my body, allow myself to gesture. Right? Gesture enhances our memory, reinforces the spoken word with visual and motor cues. It can help us understand and express abstract ideas, especially those related to spatial and relational concepts that are inadequately expressed by words. Moving our hands helps our heads to think more intelligently. I think differently when my brain is outside as opposed to being inside, right? So the human organism has become precisely calibrated to the characteristics of the outside environment. Our senses and our cognition are able to easily and efficiently process the particular features present in natural settings. Our minds are attuned to the frequencies of the organic outside world. Right? We have not much of an evolutionary adjustment, right, to the recent emergence of a world in which we spend almost all of our time inside. So we've got this giant mismatch between the stimuli that we are evolved to process and the sights and sounds that regularly confront our senses because we spend almost all our time inside. That tends to deplete our mental resources. We are left frazzled, fatigued, prone to distraction, simply because of the number of hours we spend in a setting for which we are biologically ill-equipped. My brain on healthy excitement. So I have various intellectual and social projects that I often talk about on this show, and these projects drive me through the day. So when I have a project that consumes me and inspires me and excites me, right, that has a significant effect on my brain. My brain on 12-step, right? By following the principles laid out in the big book, I feel increasingly at ease with myself and with others, and I am no longer at war with myself. My brain on beef organs, all right? I'm a lifelong vegetarian. As a result, I've had lifelong terrible health. 2 years ago, I started taking 6 beef organ capsules every morning from Ancestral Supplements, and I feel great. I started feeling great within 2 weeks. My brain on respect, right? When I treat myself with respect, then allow other people to disrespect me. I put a cap in their ass if they disrespect me. Distance myself from people who do not treat me respectfully, right? When I tend to treat other people with respect, my life goes more smoothly and my brain functions better. My brain on decent sleep, right? When I get a decent night's sleep, I feel pretty good. When I get a great night's sleep, I feel amazing. When I'm not sleeping well, my impulse control and my bandwidth go way down. My brain in nice clothes, all right? I feel great in good-looking clothes. My brain around people. I think different thoughts when I'm around people compared to when I'm alone. Even when I'm alone, much of my thinking is connected to and stimulated by the most important relationships in my life. So one study showed that a major factor in graduate student transformation was their experience of intense social engagement around a body of knowledge, the hours they spent advising, debating with, and recounting anecdotes to one another. My brain out of the house. Right? According to the Wall Street Journal, people feel more extroverted, more agreeable, more conscientious when they are in other places than their home compared to when they are at home. People tend to feel more disorganized and more chaotic when they are at home. When people are outside their home in social environments, they feel more compassionate, more open-minded, and more kind compared to where they are at home. My brain on generosity. When I serve others, when I'm of moderate, appropriate level of service and help to others, right? Not when I'm enabling others. My brain feels more aligned with reality. When I'm happy, I naturally want to help people, right? Happy people, help people, hurt people, hurt people. Yeah. Happy people, help people, hurt people, hurt people. Wow, that's genius, 40. My brain on music. I can choose my music by my mood selection. So check out my YouTube music playlist under playlists on my channel, Luke is Back. My brain on touch. My brain works better when I'm regularly touching and being touched by people I like. Right? Some people, when they touch you, it's the most creepy thing in the world. Ugh. My brain on beauty. When I'm surrounded and frequently encountering beauty, I feel happier. My brain on hope. Right? I can't imagine what it's like to walk around feeling we are doomed. All sorts of people I know are just tied into we are doomed. So it could be AI is dooming us, or immigration is dooming us, or other technology is dooming us, or China and Russia are dooming us, or the Democrats are dooming us. Ugh. My brain at rest, when I don't feel I need to prove anything to anyone, and I don't feel like I need to grab your attention, my brain calms down. My brain on laughter. When I laugh, I tend to rise above my petty self. My brain on harmony. When the different parts of my life and the different facets of my personality aren't at war with each other, it's easier for me to enjoy life. When I'm happy, I like the way my mind works. When I hate myself, my mind becomes a dangerous neighborhood that I don't want to visit alone. My brain on status. My brain works better when I have more status than when I have less status. My brain on a victory. Right? My brain works better when I'm winning rather than losing. So I try to construct my day. So I'm building up wins from my early morning cold shower to my reading, to my writing, to my journaling, to my prayer, to my meditation, to my exercise, my 12-step work, followed by a delicious breakfast while reading my favorite newspapers. Win, 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 win. Just stack up those wins. That's how I try to build my day. My brain on time. right? My brain works much better when I'm operating on time as opposed to when I am running late. Then my brain on tracking. My brain works better when I'm tracking the key parts of my life, including how I'm spending my time, how I'm spending my money, how I'm earning, right? How my savings are going, right? So the act of creating a concept map on its own generates a number of cognitive benefits. It forces us to reflect on what we know and then organize it into a coherent structure. As we construct the concept map, the process frequently reveals gaps in our understanding of which we were previously unaware. Right, that's my brilliant blog post composed last night called Your Brain on Love.
Parasites are brain parasites, but given his evil psych take on things, it does seem a little bit strange that if we take his argument seriously, which is basically the claim that in the modern environment, especially at universities and in left-wing dominated areas, there's now a dog